You know what time it is. You know what time it is. I know it look a little different. We're gonna set it off. How y'all doing today? Welcome to Smoke Drink Vibe. I am your host, life coach Jay Hughes. And you probably can hear that in the background. That's a lot of storm and stuff coming through. Y'all check on your people if they're in Houston, man. If they're in Houston and the surrounding cities, y'all check on your people, make sure they're good. It is going down out here. Mainly it's to the north. Thankfully, I am way deep in the south of Houston in another sub city. But yeah, all that stuff is to the north, man. Check on your people. It's really going down. It is what it is. How y'all doing, man? How are y'all doing? It looks like for the first time we didn't have no real issues. That's a little different. Let me make sure. That's a little different. No real issues audio wise. I like it. I like it. All right. All right. All right. All right. So listen, we got a lot to talk about today, but we're gonna keep it short and sweet. Okay. And we're gonna talk about some stuff that involves dating. Dating, dating. Today's dating scene is all kinds of weird. There's all kinds of stipulation that both men and women have for each other. And today we're going to talk about it. Okay. And one of the things I want to talk about and highlight is the 50-50 dating. A lot of women out there are saying that, oh, I don't want to go 50-50 with a man. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that when it comes to dating with men. Not doing 50-50. It is what it is. He got to come and take care of me traditional. And that's what I want. But yet and still, those same women do not want to be traditional women. They just want to use their femininity or the double standard when it best suits them. Right? That's what they want. So there's a 50-50 dating chance. There's this 50-50 dating thing that we're doing. We're going to talk about. We're going to talk about if it really works. Are we looking at this logically? Does it work? Is it really about what it says it's about? Listen, 50-50 dating has its benefits. Okay. Some women out there want to convince you that if you're dating 50-50, you basically have a roommate. And what I'm saying is those women are still lonely and not dating at all. So, because it takes 100% of you and 100% of that other person to equal y'all half of 50-50 that comes into the relationship. So I think we're looking at this wrong. And I want to take a look at this a little bit deeper. Also, we're talking about 7 facts that men use in qualifying women to date. 7 facts that men use in qualifying women to date. And some of those facts are just plain and simple. I don't know how you can get that mixed up. I don't know how you can debate these facts, because these are the facts that men are saying that they're going to use as standards on whether or not you're suitable to date as a woman. So I want to kind of give women kind of that insight to that and let them know what's really, really going on in the man's mind when it comes to dating. Okay. All right. So let's start it off. We ain't gonna, we hear the rain, we hear the thunder. Let's set it off. All right. 50-50 relationships versus traditional. Now, before you get in your feelings, men and women, especially women, I just want you to look up at this objectively. This still, after you look up at this objectively, may not work for you. Okay. My goal is to help you look at this objectively, see what you see, look at the facts, think of it as a different perspective, and then go from there. That's my objective. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I want to do. Okay. So I want to make sure that you understand. That's what I want to do. Well, playback. I want to make sure you understand that's where we're at. Okay. We're here to look at this thing objectively. 50-50 relationships versus traditional relationships. Now, what is a 50-50 relationship? A 50-50 relationship is defined as 2 people who combine their assets into one asset while they're dating and or in marriage, right? And they're seriously dating, they're monogamous, or they're in a marriage and they're combining their assets to equal one big lump sum, and they're toting equal responsibility when it comes to bills and finances, 50-50. Okay. We have the traditional relationship that says the man is the provider, he takes care of everything, and the woman, just is supposed to be in the kitchen, submissive, and all this other stuff that a lot of modern women don't agree with, outside of the man is supposed to be the provider and he's supposed to take care of everything. Now, what I'm going to say is that a lot of women want to use traditional relationships without being traditional women. They don't want to be traditional women while operating in traditional relationships. Some women have tried to be traditional women while operating in traditional relationships, and they still weren't satisfied, right? They still weren't satisfied. There was a lot of things that they didn't like about that traditional relationship that made them not satisfied, right? But they end up leaving. They still end up doing divorce. As we look at the current divorce rates in this country, women are the ones who are initiating divorce. But when we look at 50-50, if we say women are getting the bag, right? Women are getting the bag, but there's still a pay gap. So I guess, it's another contradiction. But women are getting the bag. Women are in corporate positions. Women are about their business, right? They're in the corporate world competing with us men, us dogs. It's a doggy dog world out there. So that's what they're doing. And they get in the bag, right? So women say a man's supposed to take care of everything, right? And I looked up some statistics because I like to look up statistics, okay? Now, according to recent statistics, we're just focusing on the men. In 2022, the median household income in the United States was $74,580, which is a 2.3% decline from 2021. The median household income by race and ethnicity was Asians being the top earners at $108,000. White not Hispanics were $81,000. Hispanics of any race was $62,000. American Indians, Native Americans, Alaskan Native Americans were $52,000, and Black people were $52,860. So we beat out American Indians by a couple of bucks, a difference of $20, maybe $30. As a Black man, that is alarming. That says a lot. All right, that says a lot. Now, if we break that down by geographical locations, north, south, east, west, still dealing with men as Black men and other ethnic groups, right? The United States as a whole was what? 74,580, right? The West, if you live on the West Coast, anywhere on the West Coast, your average income for 2022 is $82,890. Okay, it jumped up from 2021, which was 85. No, it actually declined. I'm sorry. In 2021, it was 85,650. Then it declined to 82,890. Northeast was in 2021 83,540. Then it declined to 80,360. Midwest average income, these are men. Now, we're not counting women. These are just men who live in these different geographical areas. Midwest, 2021, the average man was making $76,700. 2022, it declined $73,070, right? And in the South, the average man of any ethnic group was making $68,330. That declined by $100 in 2022. So women are getting the bag. Women are making money. Not saying that men are not making money, but Black men are what? Fourth? No, third. No, fourth in this country as far as making money. And these are statistics from 2022. Right. I just wanted to go back a little bit further because it takes a couple years for stats to really just sit and set. Right. So with that said, women are saying, I want a traditional relationship where the man has to take care of me. I'm going to focus on black men and black women. Black women have especially said, for some of the part, most of you have said, I want a man to take care of me. Right. I want that traditional relationship. Well, based off these numbers, it ain't happening. Because the lifestyle that you want under the protection of a traditional relationship, because we know that you're going to base it off money, it's not happening. So what's the alternative, right? Women stay single because they're getting the bag. Their money is going to keep them safe and warm at night. Probably. Or you combine assets, right? You combine assets. Let's say, on average, a woman nowadays, a black woman, which she's actually not. I think I have that statistic. But let's just say for shits and giggles, let's say that black women are in America as a whole are making $10,000 less than the average of 2022. For black men, which was around 58,000. So let's just say they're making 40,000. Or let's just say, no, they're getting the bag. So let's just say they're making 70,000. Right? Let's say they're making 70,000. Then you got the average black man in 2022 was making around 52,000. So if you guys are making that money together, does that not benefit you more than you staying single, making your 60, 70,000? All right. For black women, that's making six figures by themselves, right? There's a lot of bosses out there, a lot of boss women out there, right? But there are a lot of black men who are bosses too. Now, their business may not have got the same boost as you, but they still are making six figures or right under six figures, right? Why not combine assets? Because it poses the question, are black women or women in general really looking for a traditional relationship, right? If they're looking for a traditional relationship while not wanting to be traditional women, is the relationship what they're really looking for? Or are they looking for something else? Are they looking for somebody who's going to take care of them so they don't have to work? And they don't care about the relationship. They don't care about love. They don't care about building family, building legacy, building this, building that. They just want somebody to take care of them, right? You would think by some women that say, oh, I want a traditional relationship, but I don't want to be a traditional woman. I still want to do what I want to do. You would think that would be the case. I don't think so. I think they pick and choose, like Christians pick and choose what they want to listen to and obey in the Bible, right? Same concept. You pick and choose the narrative that works best for you. That means to me that it's a possibility that some women are not operating out of love like they say they are. They're operating out of survival. What are their best chances? What are their best chances of survival in this day and time, even though, let's just say for shits and giggles, that they're out earning, that women, especially black women, I'm focused on that black women are out earning their male counterparts, right? What's their chances of survival? Right? Because you can't be marrying for love. Let's be honest. Some women will say, oh, I could never date a man for his money. I could never date a man and be with a man for his money. Yeah, for the right price, you could. Because a man for the right price, he'll date a woman for money. There are people out there like that. So let's not pretend that that doesn't happen, that doesn't exist. Okay? We're trying to be realistic here. We're trying to find a different approach, and we're trying to look at this differently. Right? So we're not going to pretend, ladies, that you wouldn't date a man for money. Let's just stop. Okay? because there are men out there who would do that. There are women out there who do that. That's pretty much the case. But what if it really is about survival? Women are prone to pick the best suitable candidate by nature, right? But the best suitable candidate, because of today's time, looks a little bit different than the best suitable candidate of yesteryears, meaning your uncles, your aunties, grandma, grandpa, great grandma, grandma, and them, who got about 50 plus years of marriage, right? They picked the best suitable candidate, but money wasn't involved. Companionship, compatibility, working cohesively together was some of the things that your grandma and grandpa went through when picking their mate. Not to mention, they actually loved each other, or they learned to love each other, right? But nowadays it's different. We have the modern man and the modern woman. And what modern women are saying is, I want a man to take care of me. But at the same time, they're also saying, I don't need a man for his money. I got my own money. I got my own bag. I'm doing me. But I want a relationship where a man's taking care of me. Contradicting on its face. We got it. That's why men look at you with the, what you talking about, Willis? That's what they look at you at. All right. But I think we're looking at this differently. I think we're looking at this through the wrong lens, because based off just the 2022 statistics, knowing that there was a 2.3 decline from the previous year of 2021, and this is, in the midst of COVID, on the backside of COVID a little bit, just on the United States alone, the average median income was $74,580. No matter what ethnic group, that was the average in the United States for men, right? The average income for Black men around that time was $52,860. Okay. So women are saying that the average man, the average Black man, is not good enough to be in a relationship with them. That's pretty much what they're saying. It's sad, because if you combine assets, that 52,000 can go a long way. A lot of you don't realize, Black women and women in general, a lot of you don't realize when you combine assets of anybody that's making 50 to 55,000 or better, and you're making 50 to 55,000 or better, that automatically puts you guys in a different tax bracket. Right? So you guys are looking at it from a money aspect and from a player aspect and from a survival aspect, but you're not realizing that if you do these things, it will actually put you probably in a place that you want to be in. But you don't want to go 50-50. Oh, no, we don't want to do that. We want traditional relationships, but I want to be a modern woman and do what I want to do. How's that work? As a matter of fact, modern woman, how's that working out for you right now? Have you found that person that's going to take care of you? Listen, let's not confuse people in your inbox who simply just salivate over you and probably just want to have sex with you as actual viable candidates that are for you, that are jockeying for your attention to either marry you or commingle or cohabitat with you. Just because they slid in your DMs don't mean that they are the right person for you. That's why they still in your DMs. You keeping them as options. You keeping them as just in case you get bored, right? Because we've heard oh, he's wore me down. We've heard that before, right? Never heard a man say that too much, though. Seems weird. What do y'all think? I got 9 people here. A bunch of more people watching on YouTube. Does the 50-50 relationship work? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Let me put the number up so you guys can call, or you guys can text in the chat box and let me know. Ladies and gents, does the 50-50 relationship work? Right? Or do you want a traditional relationship? Or can we do a hybrid? What's a hybrid? A hybrid relationship is a relationship that has 50-50 as a foundation with traditional qualities. Sounds like something feasible to me. You mean I can still partner with somebody and they can still help take care of me? Yes, because taking care of you looks very different other than financially, right? If you're just looking for somebody to take care of you financially, young woman, young Black woman, you're going to end up dying alone. You're going to end up being single because those men who can obviously take care of you don't need your money. You're probably not on their radar because you yourself don't make enough money. And if you do make enough money, your attitude and the money that you make, because of the money that you make, still puts you off their radar, right? So the hybrid relationship, thank you, I appreciate that. You want to know what the hybrid relationship is. A hybrid relationship is where you go 50-50 with somebody, but the qualities and how you treat each other is along the traditional values, right? You guys still take care of each other. He still takes care of you, but it's not solely based on how much money you make. It's based on how you treat each other. It's the quality of the relationship instead of the quantity of the money that either one of you have in the bank account. Because let's be clear. If you combine assets with somebody and that somebody loves you, respects you, honors you, doesn't cheat on you, treats you just like the queen you are, then why is it not possible to combine assets, even if you're making $60,000 or better? $60,000 is $120,000 combined. When you guys file taxes, you guys are in a different tax bracket. Collectively, you guys are six figures together. But do you not want to build? Do you not want to build with a man who is working his way up from that $52,860? Or do you want to sit and wait for that 1% guy who has so many options? Understand, ladies, let me put it to you like this. A rich man with money who can literally sit there and take care of you the exact way that you have in your mind is like a fine woman with a lot of options for men. She has her pick. Why? Because she's just gorgeous. And everybody wants to get at her, from rich men to broke men. And she can choose. That's how it's like when trying to get with rich men, right? And you're not on their radar. Man said, 50-50 builds empires. Yes, 50-50 can build empires. Listen, they don't want you to combine assets, women. They have implanted this in your mind that you need somebody to take care of you as a way to keep you single because they know the top 10 or top 1% of men that could actually do that is not going to do that for you. See, the powers that be know that. All right. Again, I'm just trying to get you to look at it differently. I think I'm more interested in a generous man than a rich man. What's the difference between a generous man and a rich man? What's the difference? Give me the difference. And that's cool that you're interested in it, but give me the difference. What's the difference between a genuine man and a rich man? Right? Are you concerned about how he treats you? Is that generous? Or is he generous with the money because his money is your money and your money is your money? What are we talking? All right. Again, keep the comments coming because this is something we got to talk about. I want relationships to happen, but I want us to be real about how we go about doing it and what our intentions are. And if the intentions are known, then we can't be mad at the results or why you're looking for what you're looking for. Because ladies, again, you're biologically wired to choose the best candidate. It just so happens that in today's time, the best candidate is defined unfairly by men who have way more money than you do, just so you don't have to do anything. Let's be honest. The way your mind works, you can't sit idly by. knowing that if you happen to bag this magical unicorn of a man, right, that other women don't want him and he will never not have options. With that kind of man, you're constantly competing for first place, even though he may put a ring on it. Because there are other women out there that are saying, I'm way better than her. And because he is wealthy, he does have that chance to entertain other women, even though you don't think he should. But you know who you married. You know who you married. I want a man that we can build together. That's right. Build together collectively. Because that's what the powers that be, are afraid of. They want you single. They said, yeah, you can have your career, girl. Go ahead, chase that bag. You were indoctrinated with that probably by your mother. Focus on school. Don't focus on no man. Get your bag. You don't need no man for nothing. And all of a sudden you look up and you're in your mid-30s, no kids, no husband. If that's the goal, I think we also need to define what the goal is, right? Because if the goal is not to have kids, but you want a marriage, understandable. If the goal is you don't want a marriage, but you want kids, kind of weird, but still understandable. At the end of the day, we have to define what the goal is. But if the goal is, I want a relationship, I don't want to die alone, I want to build with somebody. But in order for me to build with somebody, that person has to have this amount of money and has to be this successful. He has to already come put together. Most of you women don't come put together. That's just the facts. That's just the facts. Nothing wrong with that, but you come put together on the professional level. And I'm going to give you that. A lot of Black women, you come put together on the professional level, but you don't come put together on the personal level because you spent most of your time perfecting your professional level, which is probably why you won't run into the man that you. We'll talk about that later. Let's get to these comments. A man will always have options. Girl, really? Really? Like women don't have options? See what it is? You just don't like the options in your DM. That's what that is. You only want to count the options that are suitable for you. And then you play the field and say, I got options. I got people who want me. No, those are people who just want to have sex with you. They're in your DM. But you got options. You just don't like them. They're not the options you want. Women will always have options just like men. It is no different on either side. No different. Come on now. Women, a man will always have options. Really? 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 Not kind of weird. It is kind of weird. Don't die, man. Don't die. She said, I told my daughter that lie, and I was so wrong for asking her at 42 to forgive me for being foolish. Listen, you were indoctrinated. You were indoctrinated because that's what they told you. Listen, let's understand women, especially Black women. I want you to hear me. I want you to hear me clearly. You have been indoctrinated ever since the first wave of the feminist movement to think that you don't need a man and you can have your career and have it all. They gave you the half truth. You don't believe me? Look at all the other ethnic groups who are getting married right out of college. Matter of fact, at their graduations, they're showing off their engagement rings. And the only thing the Black woman showing off is her decorated cap and her degree, while she's taking picture with one or two of her kids being unmarried. Nothing against that. That woman's probably going to be successful, right? But at the same time, what's the end goal? Is the end goal relationships? Is it marriage? Is it just shacking up? I'm focusing on if the end goal is actual relationships that can lead to marriage where you, the Black woman or the woman, can get exactly what you want, which is a man that's going to take care of you. However, I think your chances will be better if you look at the numbers, the real numbers of what we are making as Black men and women in this country, and how we can probably do a lot better if we combine assets. That's all I'm saying. If traditional's for you and you still want to be feminist and you want to be non-traditional as a woman, but you want a traditional relationship, if that's what you want, stick to it. Stick to it. Stick to it. I'm just trying to get you to think of a different perspective, right? What is build a bear, build a man? Well, there are women out here who you want to put a man together. You want this mythical man that doesn't exist, and you want to take different qualities from different men. If you got a stable of 5, right? Most of you women who are single probably have 3 or 4 guys you talk to, with one of them that you're entertaining real heavy, right? And then the other 3 are just in case this other guy messes up. This one you're entertaining real heavy messes up. But then the reason why you have those 3 with that one you're talking to and those 3 on standby is simply because all of them have qualities that you wish you could combine into one guy. That's it. Ladies, don't worry. Men do it too. Okay. I'm not harping on you. Men do it too. Okay. So at the end of the day, when you try to build somebody and build a man, listen, either that man has the qualities that you want or he doesn't. Understand where he is, either like him where he is or leave him alone and move around. Okay? Because a lot of women also forget there are more women in this country, let alone the world, than there are men. So you got to look at the numbers. That's all I'm saying. You got to look at the numbers. That's all I'm saying. Okay? If a man is making sure your basic needs are always met and he can provide some of your wants, anything outside of the ulterior motives, take mentally. Yeah, I get that. Because you want a man to supply and talk about your basic needs. I mean, come on. Some of the needs and wants, and ladies, again, men do it too. But some of the needs and wants of you ladies of this day and time is just simply outrageous. Like, you're so indoctrinated to think that a man that's 6'6" in height or better is going to protect your little 5'2" looking self than a person who's 5'10" who can get down with you and help protect you at the same time. A real man going to tell you to run with him. Why is we trying to fight? We need to get to the car and get out of here. That's protection. But again, you want protection how you want protection. That's another problem. When you're under the protection of somebody, be it you're in a traditional relationship or a non-traditional relationship of 50-50, the way that man protects you is the way he protects you. You can't complain about it. You want a protection. What it is you want a protection and you didn't understand what it looked like. You've never been under a man's protection for real because your dad wasn't around. None of the men you dated protected you. You're barely protecting yourself. And a woman's protection looks way different than a man's protection. Okay? Just want to put that out there. Womanist versus feminist. A womanist is committed to the survival of both male and females and desires a world where men and women can coexist while maintaining their cultural distinctiveness. Exactly. I'm a womanist. Even though I'm a man, I'm a womanist. Okay? I believe in the rights of women. I believe that we can coexist cohesively to build the empires that they used to do of yesteryears. Right? I do not believe in modern feminists. I do not believe in any of that thing because it hasn't helped us, especially as in the Black community. It hasn't helped us. It hasn't. It's kept us single. It's kept homes fatherless, and it's kept women still operating in their masculinity, talking about where all the men went, right? That's what it's kept. Okay, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'm saying put in the work. Put in the work, right? Put in the work. Let's have a conversation of why is it that you decided that just because you got this man, young black woman, that you don't need to work no more and you in your mid 20s, early 30s, just because you think he's supposed to take care of you. You got to put in the work. Where is your value at that point in time? I'm challenging right now at the position of you want a traditional relationship, but you want to be non-traditional, right? There are a lot of women out there who have exit plans. They have taken their money and the money of the person that they're with, put it in a secret bank account as an exit plan. So just in case this Negro messes up, they'll have money if he leaves her. I have not known any man in the history of dating since I've been alive that had an exit plan for a woman. Yo, dog, if just in case she mess up, man, I got my money stashed right here so she ain't gonna get none of that and I'm gonna be all right. He had told that to any one of his partners, they would have looked at him like, what is you talking about? An exit plan? Nigga, just keep a job, keep your business, keep your money how you keep it. An exit plan. I don't understand that. But that's the day. That's today. What up, sis? How we doing? How we doing? Kay says, yup. What you talking about, Kay? What you yepping to? I don't get that because it's not fair that a man has to take care of all of our needs. What about us working together to assure we're both good? Listen, I agree. Okay, I agree. However, let's go back to nature and how we are programmed as men and women. Men want to take care of you. Ladies, hear me clearly. Men want to take care of you. If you ask 50 men and say, if money wasn't a factor, would you want to take care of the right woman? And I guarantee you, even the man who said, I don't want to get married, even he would say, yeah, I want to take care of her if money wasn't a factor. Because that's in our nature. Hence the protection, right? We want to take care of you. Ladies, if you got a man or a husband and you've been fighting him on how he's protecting you, stop. You are under that man's protection. Stop. Stop. Okay? That's how that man protects you. Because that's another way that he takes care of you. Right? And I know, I understand you don't think it's fair, Carmela, but at the same time, men, again, want to take care of you. If money wasn't a factor, they would take care of you. And unfortunately, there's other ways that don't involve money that we can take care of you that both of us are missing, which is what I'm trying to bring to the table at this point in time, which is why I'm saying 50-50, is that really such a bad thing? All right? Is it really such a bad thing? And some black girls are not raised to prepare for a partner, unfortunately. Yes, they're not. Indoctrination. Again, go get your bag. You don't need a man. Go get your money. You don't need a man. Right? And what they were doing, they were projecting onto you, young black women. They're projecting. Don't worry, black men faced it too. We'll talk about it another time. But they were projecting on you, black woman. They were projecting by living through you, so they were harder on you so you could do what they didn't get a chance to do. Because at that point in time, they realized it's really just one life, one go at life in this mod, right? One go at life. And they have kids and they see the potential in this. I wish I should have did that. I wish I could have did that. Then they indoctrinate you because now they want you mad at their mistakes, right? They want you mad at dad. Dad didn't leave me. He left us. No, boo-boo, he left your mama, right? He didn't leave his kids. It just looked like he left his kids because that's what you were told. He left your mama. That's pretty much what happened, right? That's pretty much what happened. So now you get indoctrinated because mom is sitting there telling you, you don't need a man, go get your bag, go get your degrees, which is halfway right to a certain extent, right? If education is what you want to do, go get your education. If having a career that doesn't involve degrees but certifications and knowledge, go get your career. But there's a point in time in your life, young Black woman, where you are going to need a man. You're going to need it. If the relationship is the end goal, if to build and live legacy is the end goal, you're going to need it. Your mother said, gotcha. She understands. That's good. I'm glad they understand. Listen, I'm just trying to get you ladies to understand that there's a different way of thinking, right? I'm challenging the perception that the feminists of today, the Black modern feminists of today, have said that if you make as a man $50,000 or less, you don't need to be dating because it's so expensive to date nowadays. It doesn't have to be. They make it expensive because they want to check your pockets, because they don't have that money themselves. And if they did have that money, they're only seeing how you can benefit them, which in turn means that they don't care about a relationship with you. They're only trying to see what they can get from you, right? And the women who don't think like that, you guys are quiet. The ones that are not quiet, they're being called pick-me's. They're going against the sisterhood. They're being attacked, right? But this is where we're at. This is where we're at. So again, why not combine assets? Do you want to be traditional? Because if we look up the statistics of Black women making money in this country, let's see. In 2021, women of every ethnic group compared to men in this country men were making $65,970 on average, while women were making $55,240. So are you really getting the bag, ladies? Or are you just saying that to boost your ego? Right? In 2022, men were making $62,350 on average, while women were making $52,360. And the difference between those 2 years for women is $100. $100 in a year, pay raise. Are you really making that bag, ladies? Are you scared to say, we make the same, but I don't want to combine assets? Your ego is at stake. The perception that you have of yourself that you've presented to social media and the world is at stake. These numbers are not at stake. Granted, even with more Black women as CEOs and running companies and starting businesses, according to these numbers, even the numbers that I looked up as recently, you're still not outperforming Mei Ling. You're still not outperforming Becky. But you want to tell the same Black man who was in the same boat as you that he needs to come well put together and be this upper echelon to where he can take care of you, to where you don't have to work. As if you put in enough work to get where you need to do right now. Some of you have with your degrees. Some of you have. Some of you have. But that's where the work stops. All right. Which is going to bring me to my second point. And this one, I really think we really need to dive into. 7 facts about men and dating. There was not too long ago, a woman had a list on social media of all the places that she would not go on a date. And she was encouraging her other Black women to do the same thing. And this was a long list. some of the things on the list I agree with, right? Like for the first date, sometimes depending on how you're feeling and what's the vibe, sometimes I don't agree with going to the person's house on the first date. Like I don't agree with that, right? But they had on their coffee dates. I don't want to be taken to a coffee date. I don't want to be taken anywhere where there's 2 for $20. I don't want to be taken anywhere like Ruth Chris. Ruth Chris? Really? That's kind of expensive. I mean, back in the day, Ruth Chris used to be graduation. You couldn't even get there for birthdays. It had to be some, But now it's like, I don't want to go anywhere that has a restaurant chain. It has to be a restaurant that's only that restaurant, and that's it. And when I go there, I want to order whatever I want because the average date that a woman says nowadays is supposed to be around $250 to $300. With these numbers, with women making $52,360 a year on average. So you're expecting a lifestyle. Feminists are saying they're expecting a lifestyle that they haven't worked for. And so these men have came back and said there are 7 things that Black women or women in general need to know about men and dating. There are more than 7. There's about 40, but I'm going to do 7 because I figure these 7 are a little bit important. Ladies, a woman said this. A woman made this list, so don't get mad at me. Number 1, if you're his problem and not his peace or place where he can find peace within you, he won't keep you. Let me read that again. If you ladies are a problem within the relationship and you are not his peace or a place where he can find peace within you, meaning you haven't created a safe space for him to feel at ease and feel peace. If you're not that for him, he's not going to date you. He's not going to keep you if you're dating, and he's damn sure not going to marry you. Oh, don't get quiet now in the chat. Don't get quiet now. We got a couple more. Ladies, if you lead with your career accomplishments, your degrees, and other things that has nothing to do with your actual traits, he won't keep you. Men don't care about your accomplishments or your accolades. They care about your traits, who you are as a person, and how you treat them. I got a PhD. I'm a boss. Let me go back and read number 1 again, because I don't think y'all understand. If you're a problem or being the problem in the relationship or in the dating phase or within the marriage, and you're not his peace, you guys are not creating, he's creating peace for you. He's created a safe space for peace for you, but you haven't created a safe space for being his peace. He won't keep you. He'll find somewhere else where he can find peace, be it by himself or with another woman. Look at that face. My man said, I got to agree about the second one. I care more about the trait. Yes, men care more about how you treat them. Ladies, they don't care. You know why they care more about how you treat them? Because you ever wonder why that man chose that woman who worked at McDonald's, who worked at Sonic's, who's a waiter at some crappy restaurant or something? Because she brings him peace. She treats him normal. We're not looking to be treated like kings. We're just looking to be treated normal. Normal. And you wonder, what's wrong with me? I got degrees. I have my stuff together. I'm being an adult. And he went and chose that chick who don't make as much as you, don't have as much as you, but she look equally as good, or she doesn't look as good, but she looks good enough for him, but she treats him a certain way. She treats him a certain way. Good night. Ooh, that's exactly what they're doing. Number 3, if you put your career above your man or relationship, he won't keep you. Men use their skills and careers as a means to an end, while women tend to use their careers as the end game. If you show, let me put it in simple terms. Ladies, if you out here showing more respect to your boss and your career than that man at home, and he has done nothing for you to disrespect him, he ain't gonna keep you. No. He probably cheating on you already, sweetie. Because you're not his piece. You show more respect and yes, sir, and no, sir. And not saying you got to say that to him, but just the fact that you have that level of respect, because he's cutting your paycheck as if you can't find another job within the same career. But it's easier to find another job, but harder to find another quality of man who's going to put up with you disrespecting him for your job. Y'all show is quiet. Y'all show is quiet. Number 4, if you're not able to consistently hold yourself accountable for your actions, he won't keep you. Accountability within men builds trust when you are wrong as a woman. That apology needs to have the same energy as the accusation. I need a drink on that one. Did y'all hear what that just said? Ladies, I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to give you the game of how men are thinking. You're out here thinking it's material, it's money, it's this, it's that. Listen, if a man leads with his money and he's leading by what he can do for you, he is no different than a woman who leads with her degrees and her accomplishments. It ain't worth nothing. Right? So when a man tells you, if you're not able to consistently hold yourself accountable for your actions, he won't keep you. Accountability for men builds trust when women are actually wrong. That apology needs to have the same energy as the accusation. Let me take this call. Let me take this call. Somebody called up. Wait, I missed the call. My bad. Missed that call. That part. Some women hate to admit that they're wrong. My goodness, it's not that hard. It is that hard. You know why it's that hard? Because it actually means that you were right and they don't have the character and they're not woman enough to stand on when they are wrong. The need to be right is more important than the relationship. That's why it's hard for them. That's why it's hard for them. Not all of them, but some of them. And ladies, men do it too. Right? Come on now. Men do it too. You ever dealt with that Negro, can't admit he wrong, and you caught him with the condom in his hand? Just, yeah, I don't know. Hey, I thought this was bubble gum. Well, who was she in the car? I picked her up. She was a stranger. I thought, she just needed a ride. You just can't admit you wrong. But ladies, it's something different. Admitting when they're wrong to a man. The That apology needs to have the same energy as that accusation. And you know, some of you women like to put a little hot sauce on that accusation. Those averages were in all ethnic groups, correct? Yes, those were in all ethnic groups. You're right. They were. They were. Let's get back to it. Number 5, if you're depending on your man for happiness, he won't keep you. He's not responsible for your happiness, just like you're not responsible for his. A lot of women have broken up good marriages and good relationships because they weren't happy. Oh, he didn't make me happy. He didn't make me happy, so I got bored and I decided to leave. I'm just going to break up a whole home because he didn't make me happy. It's not his job. Men of today, they're not worried about your happiness. As a matter of fact, if you're not already happy before a relationship starts, there's probably not going to be a relationship to start in the beginning because they're not responsible for your happiness. You are. Just like you, Black woman, are not responsible for his happiness. He is. It's funny how you can understand that when it comes to his happiness, but not your own, which is why men are like, get your ish together, get it together, because they're no longer concerned about your happiness at the beginning of the relationship. You should be happy with yourself. Genuinely. If you expect open and clear communication, however, you are the kind of woman who gets mad when your man doesn't get the hints. He won't keep you. Clear communication is expected from him. He needs that same energy from you. You know how y'all do. You know how y'all ladies do. I was dropping hints. He didn't get the hint. But on the flip side, he don't communicate well. I want clear communication. I want open and honest communication. And the man is all twisted inside because he like, I don't get hints, but she wants communication. They're not going for it, ladies. Stop with the hints. You got a mouth. You can open up that same mouth and say, I need a man to take care of me, but you can't open up your mouth when it comes to hints. You can't speak what's on your mind. That's what the men are saying. I'm just saying. I'm trying to help you get a man if you ain't got one. I'm trying to help you keep one if you got one. Because like it says in one of these, that apology needs to have the same energy as the accusation. Ladies, you can't be leading with your accolades and expect to keep a man. You can't be leading with your accolades to seduce a man. You can't be rough and have your chest out with that accusation, but downplay the apology. You can't communicate with hints and then get mad when he don't communicate at all, but you want open communication. Oh. Y'all quiet. Y'all are quiet. Top 3 things a lady should lead with in dating. What are the top 3 things she should lead with? She's a woman. Lead with this. Not in accolades, but in seeing if that man can match that energy. Lead with this in trying to see what kind of man is sitting across the table from you. Ask questions. Recognize red flags. If you can't have a good dialogue on the first date, that's probably not the man for you. Not saying you got to ask probing questions like when you start off. I was dating right before I got married, or a little bit way before I got married, and this woman asked me, "Do you have any baby mamas? Are you married?" It was like a list of questions, and then when I answered the list of questions, I was like, "Good night. Don't call me ever again," because you're trying to control the narrative. You're trying to control the narrative, right? So when you get on a date with a man, take him somewhere simple. Yes, I said take him somewhere simple. You should have enough money in your pocket to pay for whatever date you go on without expecting him to pay for it. Because this is a meeting of the minds on the first date. You're trying to see compatibility. Okay? Just tell me straightforward. That passive aggressive expecting me to read your mind for the room, hint, hint. Yeah, that's for the birds, Davis. That's for the birds. Men want you to tell them straight up. Ladies, tell them straight up. Be honest. Give that same honesty that you want men to give. You can't do that. That's why this list forms. Because you can't give them the same honesty that you require. And the reason being is because you're trying to protect yourself. You don't love yourself. So you're trying to control the narrative and minimize the amount of hurt you may have. Yeah, I'm going to tell it. That's why you're not giving the same energy that you're expecting. Yeah. Yeah. Because you're not ready to date. Yeah. You don't love yourself. You don't even know yourself. Don't make me go get my better half to tell y'all women that how many of y'all have actually looked at your own vagina. Oh, yeah, man. A lot of women don't even know what their own stuff look like. These are facts. These are facts. But they want you to be bare honest in everything. But they don't want to give you that same energy, right? They want to drop hints. Leave with your femininity. I'm a cook. Let me cook. Hold on. Let me cook. Go ahead. You're on the air.
Hey, this is Brandon over at B&B Formula. How are you doing this evening?
This is who?
Brandon with B&B Formula.
Okay.
Giving you a call.
That is so funny because I'm literally live on air and I did not call for that information. But since you're live on air with me, nah, it's not a subject. We'll talk about it later. Wait, let me ask you something right quick. Since you're on the air, you're live. Okay, we're live. This is so original. I love it. You're live on Facebook. You're live on YouTube. Let me ask you this. Do you feel like a woman should be creating peace for you as a man within a relationship? 100%. Tell me why. Why do you think that is? Uh-huh.
If somebody's not bringing peace to me, why would I want them in my life?
Woo.
Seems pretty simple.
Woo. Sir, I think you have pissed off about 15 women in this room. I'm just playing.
If they're mad, I would say that you just got to look inward on that and ask yourself why it's making you mad. Because honestly, somebody saying that I want other people to bring me peace shouldn't upset anybody.
Ooh. I'm going to get you off this phone before you get me canceled. All right, call me back. Thank you for participating. I appreciate it. Random call. Thank you for participating. Let me take this call. Hello, you're on the air.
Great topic. I'm calling from North Carolina.
Okay. What you got?
Well, it goes both ways. Some men are just intimidated by what a woman does, her intelligence, her education. Now, don't get me wrong, some women exploit it, but it goes both ways.
Uh-huh.
So if I'm not bringing a man peace, is he bringing me peace?
Well, let me start by saying real men are not intimidated by a woman's education. Because again, like we stated earlier, your accolades don't matter, right? We're not looking at your accolades. So we're not intimidated by your education and how smart you are. The real men are not. You got some fake men out here that are. I'm not going to say that, but the real men that are out here, they're not intimidated by that.
I would like to think so. I've only had one relationship that's been intimidated, and I'm actually married to this relationship.
Oh.
The guys I dated before, they supported me in getting a higher education, like my master's. My son, who's 19, he was there for me. He was right there with me.
Right.
When I was already in my late 30s, 40s.
Right.
I was 30.
Right.
So if and I get to what you're saying, a real man, is not intimidated. But how? And I get what you're saying. That there are women who bring a long list, and I've told several people, women, unless you matching what you're asking for, you need to take that. You need to, downsize that list. If you want him to make 6 figures, then you need to make 6 figures.
But there are women who make 6 figures who still have that list. And my thing is saying, well, what's your end goal?
Well, that's called insecurity.
Oh, don't you start talking now. They're going to get you and me.
I know, right?
Don't you start talking. They're going to get us both.
They're going to get us both. So we might as well go ahead and set it up. No, that's called insecurity.
Right.
Both sides, her side, his side, but when they come together, you're not equally yoked.
Did you say equally yoked? We ain't going to go to church today. I feel you, though. I definitely understand. Because equally yoked is basically saying you guys match each other's vibe, energy on more than one level. And it's the feng shui is there. The cohesiveness to work together is there. Right. I definitely get that.
If we got goals together, then we both together need to work for those goals.
That's right.
Not just.
That's right. That's right. So I guess you're for the 50-50 relationship then.
I am.
Okay. You heard it first.
I am. On my first date with anybody, I agree with you. Don't bring them to your house. You don't go to their house.
Right. What about coffee dates?
Huh?
What about coffee dates?
I don't drink coffee.
Okay. They got other stuff there. It ain't just coffee. They got other stuff there.
But you know what? For me, and it's just me speaking for me.
Okay.
How about we go for a walk?
Right.
How about we go to a garden where they got flowers all around? How about we do something different?
Okay. For the first date.
For the first date.
Okay.
That way, you get to know who I am out the gate. I get to know who you are out the gate. If you're doing something spontaneous, something out the usual, I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes plenty of sense. But it doesn't make sense to a lot of these modern feminist women out here who don't think like that. To them, to them it's something different.
There's more out there in life than what you got your air conditioning, composed world. You got the status quo friends, the status quo life. There's
right.
more to that. Is it bringing happiness?
Right. One of the viewers just said, to be told I was intimidated by one woman and I was insecure, that was the last time. I think being intimidated is a lack of inner confidence. Jameson, you're right. I have to agree with that. Again, we're going to get on that. Black Men in Purpose. That's going to be a podcast. Okay. That's going to be a podcast topic. But I want to deal with the ladies first and try to challenge that position of what's being said out there. But yes, if a black man or a man is intimidated by how much money a woman makes and he misses out on possibly a good woman and she's not concerned about how much money she makes or how much money he doesn't make, and the reason that the relationship didn't work out is simply because he was intimidated, that's him in the lack of confidence he has in himself. Again, ladies, you've dodged one if that's the case. You've dodged a bullet if that's the case.
You got to communicate.
Right.
You have to communicate. I told my husband, my now husband, and I said when I met him, because I was going to, I said, I'm not working anymore. Are you able to maintain me and my family and my son? He said yes. I said, I'm not making you do it because I can get it on my own.
Okay.
But if that's what you want, if that's what you're signing up for, then you got to sign up for me and my son.
Package deal.
The package deal.
Package deal. Package
but I
deal.
agree with you. Communication, communicate.
And having an end goal.
Say it on the first date, second date, on the phone. Don't do text. Everybody view text messages differently.
Right.
But talk to each other verbally.
Got to have that phone call conversation.
You can have that too.
Right. Listen, we thank you for calling. You have been such an amazing person on chat and on the call.
I always enjoy listening to y'all.
Thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye. So you heard it first. There is women out there. I mean, she may be a little bit older, more seasoned. Nothing wrong with that. She's married, by the way, so you can't take her. There are women out there who do believe in 50-50. Okay. And those facts about men, let me read this last one. Men want the same thing women want. Respect. A man's love language biologically is respect. That's all I said. Black women want to be respected. We queens, we this, we that. Black men are saying we want respect too. That's our biological love language. Respect. A man will choose respect over anything else first. Again, that goes back to your traits of how you treat them. Okay? I believe in 50-50 or helping wherever the lacking. Sometimes it's not only 50-50. Listen, 100% person giving their 100%, the 100% person giving their 100% equals 50% coming together and making some things happen. Okay? In a relationship, unless you want to be traditional, again, we have to go on what is the end goal. And a lot of us, especially in the Black community, have confused the end goal for wants and needs, right? We haven't separated it, right? If your wants and needs are to be taken care of and that's your end goal, then you have a different end goal than somebody who wants to be in a relationship that may lead to marriage, right? But yet still, we have people trying to inflate and infuse the two, which is why we have where we have right now. You should always respect your partner. You should do your best. You should definitely do your best. You should always respect your partner, especially if you're getting that respect in return. But for Black women, the respect of the man is lower on their radar than the respect they want the man to have for them. All right. And that's not for all. That's for some. And to be fair, Black men sometimes think the same way. The respect for the woman is lower than they have for the respect they want for themselves. Listen, in all, you guys got to have an end game. What's the end game? Right? In closing, what's the end game? The end game is that, you know, what do we want? What do we want to deal with? Do we want to be in a relationship or no? Do we want to have a traditional one or not? Ladies, pick an end goal. Stick with that end goal if that's what you want. as the young people say, stand on it. Stand on business, right? But leave the other people alone who don't have that same end goal as you. They're not doing what you're wanting to do as far as messing up your end goal, right? They're not calling you pick-me's because you want to be taken care of and spoiled and everything else, right? Have an end goal. Learn how to treat a man and or keep a man, because I know, I'm going to say it with my chest, that some of your mamas didn't teach you. But you want to know the kicker? The kick in the butt? I'm going to put it to you like this, black woman, and I want you to think. If you grew up in a home without your father, as a young black girl, don't you think in that same community that there are black boys who didn't grow up without their fathers? So if your mother didn't teach you how to be prepared to be a partner, a wife, or somebody of value within a relationship, she only taught you value and how to perceive or get value by accolades outside of your relationship. They didn't teach you how to be of value in a relationship. Don't you think the lack of black fathers' homes didn't teach those same black boys how to be men in relationships? What I'm saying is both of you guys came from the same atmosphere. And your mother, if you had brothers, could only teach him so much. Look at what she taught you. Look at how she indoctrinated you. Now, you go out into the world, and both the black man and the black woman come from single parent households with no teaching of really how to be one with themselves and partners while operating in their respective masculinity and femininity. They were only taught, ladies, get the bag, men, your feelings don't matter, and other ridiculous indoctrinations. But then you expect for this magical unicorn of a relationship to happen. Again, just giving different perspectives. That's my time. You guys enjoyed yourself. I know you did. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if you ever need help, ladies, if you ever need to talk to somebody, check out the obsidianluxgroup.com. Okay. You can find it in the YouTube bio in the description. The obsidianluxgroup.com. All types of free stuff on there. All types of free digital booklets to help you through whatever you're going through. If you want to book a session with me, that's where you find it. Let's get it. I'm kind of hungry. Babe, what you got to eat?
I'm going baseline, highlights. Can't slow me down, I'm too busy living my life. I put my face on the clock because it's my time. Rapper think he's seeing me, he better get his mind right. I'm going baseline, highlights. I got my grind right now, I got my shine right. I'm with my team and I'm feeling like it's my night. Better cuff your girl cause she looking like she my type. Okay, my fingers itching for that paper. Up before the sunrise, nigga, I can't wait on flavors. Go and hit my knees, say a prayer up to my maker. Look up in the mirror, check, I'm sharp as the razor. I'm riding to my anthem, I just gotta get it. Them mucks on my mind,